I wake up at like 6:30 in the morning and I try to leave by 7 o'clock. And I take the 80 downtown and get off at Lexington by the light rail. So then I take the light rail all the way to Cold Spring Lane. And from the time I leave home, I say about an hour or 45 minutes. I'm mostly a positive guy. I'd like to think of the bright side of things. Like, I don't go walking down my street thinking, oh God, this guy's gonna mug me. But, I'm just like, I am still aware of my surroundings, but yeah, I like to think of myself as safe, but then again, I'm really not. There tends to be drug dealers here and there. I think the one thing that could possibly prevent me from going to college is the area that I live in, my neighborhood, because my area is dangerous at times. My name is Davioin. I'm in the 9th grade. I'm 14 years old and I go to Baltimore Polytechnic High School. The new Davioin is a more energetic and open-minded person. The new Davioin is more proactive, more positive, willing to take on a challenge. I've realized that if I can make any negative thing into like what I want it to be, then I could like conquer it with ease. My year has been a very new experience that was like kind of hard for me to get used to. And you want me to say the reasons why? Mostly because in middle school, you could get away with a lot of things, but in high school, like, you can't trip up.
That's a freshman thing. So freshmen really do struggle with that. They struggle with going from a middle school that's very structured to poly, which is very unstructured. So we treat this school as a college. So we expect the same levels of excellence from our students as college professors do.
I'm taking honors modern world history, honors algebra 1. I'm taking English 1. I'm taking health ed this semester, but I took physical education last semester. And I'm taking Chinese, as well as biology and foundations of computer science, yeah. It's pretty much a B in every one. The hardest thing was getting used to homework. I tried that procrastinative stuff that I did in middle school and bring it over to poly, and what it did, it attacked my grade really hard. And so that caused me to want to be able to work even harder, because if I do procrastinate any longer, I'm not gonna make it through this school.
The students here at Poly are the best of the best because we're considered what's a magnet school. So we can take any student from anywhere in the city that applies. So they have to apply, they have to have a certain composite score from middle school, and they have to, be motivated to be part of the Poly family.
I consider myself a problem solver, because if I'm getting through Poly right now, I'm most definitely a problem solver. If I can go through these math equations and figure out what code goes to where, then yeah, I'm solving. The good grades I'm getting at the start of the semester, they weren't bad, but they weren't so good as they are now. And then as I kept going, I kept like pushing and pushing, because Poly really hits you hard. And this is the funny part, they said it only gets harder the next year.
Our students, they're very motivated to get things done. And sometimes that turns inward, where they're focused so much on themselves and their own success that they forget that there's 1,500 other students here that are also going through the same things. And sometimes they forget to make those connections.
I think, yeah, I had a little disadvantage coming from West Baltimore to come into the school, but it was the help that I got from West Baltimore. It was more than enough for me to be able to conquer Poly. Well, I'm not gonna say conquer Poly, I definitely did not yet, but like, I can do it. Like, I see it as a challenge, like as a motivator, instead of like something that's holding me down.
Most of our graduates go to universities, and those are 4-year institutions. Our graduates are the best of the best in Maryland, in Baltimore City, and they really show it. So you're taking computer science right now, and that kind of, we're the first school in Baltimore City that requires all of its freshmen to take some sort of computer science. And you're going to go through things like programming languages, setting up websites, making little games, and things like that. And then what I teach is a survey course about engineering. So we take freshmen who come from middle school and had no experience with engineering. We teach them how to think like engineers, how to problem solve like engineers, how to design and build machines. It's a lot of really hardcore stuff, but it's really, really fun.
Sounds
fancy. It's a lot of fun stuff. So do you have any projects that you want to work on?
Robotics sounds neat. My brother's in it, so I was thinking about doing it with him.
Who's your brother?
Darius.
Oh yeah, I know Darius. Yeah. Why don't you just come show up, man? Come on.
So I went to Poly. I graduated in 2012, and the curriculum here prepared me so well for college.
How did you make it through all the homework and stuff?
You definitely have the support. The teachers want to help you. If you surround yourself with hardworking people, you're eventually going to be hardworking. So when you build that really strong group of friends, you can ask for help with homework. That support system, not only at home, but when you're here 7 or 8 hours a day, where people are going to, encourage you to do your best.
Does it get harder every year?
That is a very interesting question. If you like science, you'll be able to manage it well, but also a big part of senior year is the habits that you made freshman, sophomore, and junior year. If you built those strong habits, it won't be as difficult as if you hadn't built those strong habits. So it's good to start early.
I'm a very curious person when it comes to learning more stuff about science.
How do we eat things up?
Well, once they add the lactate.
Just put your test tubes right in these racks and then put it in the hot water bath for however long you decided.
This is gonna be 70. So we did an experiment to differentiate different types of milk. And so we had cow milk, soy milk, and rice milk. And what we did was we measured the glucose in each of those milk. We dipped the strip in the milk, and the color square on the strip would change color. And then we would use that to measure how much glucose is inside of the milk. I'm thinking about what procedures I gotta do and what conclusion can I make.
We was some real bad kids.
I've never been to Annapolis before. It was definitely a new experience.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. How's everything going? Have you all been down here before?
Yeah.
Senator Jill Carter. She comes from a long line of public servants.
Her father is Walter P. Carter, and he was almost like the Martin Luther King of Baltimore.
Really?
Yeah, he would do sit-downs and stuff, and he did a whole speech.
Wow. Did you know that before you came, or did you just do research on her?
We did research on it.
Okay, good. You got to do your research, your due diligence all the time. All right, well, let's go on in. Let's head in there.
So today you'll get to see the Senate body in action, and that's where we're going right now. We're going over the Senate floor.
It was pretty fancy. When we walked in and sat in, I was like, whoa, what is this place?
A prosecutor has a lot of power.
Do you feel like you've followed in your father's footsteps?
The reason that I was even created was to make sure that I carried on the work that he was trying to accomplish. And so that's like my motivating force that drives everything that I do in life. And I actually think it's critically important that that's my foundation here in the legislature, because I see everything through the lens of equity, equality, racial equity, fairness, justice.
When I met Jill Carter, I was really impressed because she has a lot of power in her hands, and mostly she wants to use that power for young, educated people. And she wants those young people to change the world along with her.
1, 2, 3.
Senator Carter.
All right.
Say West Baltimore.
West Baltimore in the house. All right. Very nice.
This is a good visual.
Can I take a picture of you guys here?
I'm not the underestimated kid anymore. I'm more like, you know, the peer you want to ask questions to solve a problem or something. I'm only a freshman and they're already prepping me for college.